Alright, we are back. Man, Darkfang, you really... Oh my... Oh,
You just got effed in the face.
I got bitch smacked. Endure. Fuck.
Endure. You got lucky. Real
And
lucky.
Darkfang said this was a useless move.
What, quick attack?
No, Endure.
I find it useless overall. Because, like, here's my counterpoint here. Had you had an actual strong move there, you wouldn't have needed to use Endure. Bam.
Yeah.
I mean, that
But
one could argue.
also-
I'm not saying that's per se true. Because if you'd have missed, then you'd have died.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't kill, you would have died. Either way, it's not a per se truth.
And yeah, you get access to good move early on in the game if you grind for it.
Well, I mean, that kind of applies to many things. It's interesting that you're almost out of moves, like, everywhere, despite the fact you ingested some elixir. You're, in fact, the only one to ingest elixir. And yet you're running out of moves while everyone else is thriving.
Yeah, well, Grovyle can't really do anything in rooms like these.
Yeah, Grovyle, he can't do much, especially considering he's the third guy in line. But
yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about the Rescue Rangers series. Movement for them is very bad.
well, this system works fairly well, I think, and for at least handheld console type deal, I think it works well.
Yeah.
And then we could also take it like this. So okay, you want more. Let's say you want more people attacking at once than just the standard face-to-face thing, and like quick attack and stuff. But okay, Monster House. Why? Why'd you do that?
That's sheer spite.
That was 100% dick move.
Yeah, I got a point, yeah.
But yeah, no. Monster House. Now Monster House. Things can attack you from more angles. It's already bad enough they can surround you. Let's make it worse.
Yeah, and let's not forget, you're in a tight little corner like that and you're just getting attacked from 3 ways.
Yep.
But they do fix that later in the series by adding a push feature.
So you can shove people out of the way.
You can shove your teammates out the way.
Ah.
That gives you the ability to bottleneck your opponents inside the hallways.
The thing that they removed from the Dragon Age series. In the most awkward way possible. And then re-brought
But
it back.
There's a detriment to that as well.
What?
It causes hunger.
That
And you have no hunger. And if you're out of hunger and you push someone, you're not going anywhere. It counts as a wasted move as well.
That don't even make sense. You hungry and I shove you. You don't suddenly just not get shoved. You still getting shoved if I shove you. What kind of logic is they putting forth? I guess they find that as a balance there. I don't know.
But yeah. But they still kept in team attacks.
What are team attacks?
In the new games, you get these things called coordinated attacks.
Okay. So like you can do a ice punch,
Or
as in like Mach punch plus ice, or blizzard or something like that. Cool. And it does more damage, I presume. There's like a modifier.
Yeah, there's a modifier. You get stuff for that. But they took away a lot of things too with that.
What did they take away?
By doing that, they gave these things called bands. I mean, it gives perfect use because no one used the bands in this game, except...
Like the power band there?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I use it when I don't have the fuchsia band, because I will lose that. Because when you die, you lose a lot.
So they got rid of bands, is what you're saying? I'm not understanding the issue.
Yeah, they got rid of bands and they gave you the whole Mighty Morphin Power Rangers wristwatch.
I'm still not sure what we're discussing.
They give these bands. They give you have to put in items that you find on the floor onto the band to get the bonus effect.
Okay, there we go. That makes more sense than Mighty Morphin Power Ranger signals. To me. That might make ready sense to someone else, but not to me.
I was trying to say morpher.
I was about to say,
Yeah, they
like,
give you,
the morphing ability isn't helping me.
yeah, they give you morphers instead.
Did you think that was gonna kill it?
No.
Because that was a dick move to not help.
I knew it wasn't going to kill it. I just want to get in a better position. In fact, anything that Grovyle does won't kill.
Except, so far, it's only not one-shotted something once.
You're happy, Dark Fang, when you watch this episode? I give you your rocks that you're not currently using.
I thought it was sticks that you were complaining about. Because with sticks,
No,
he'd hit you.
he complains about rocks. He wants his rocks.
And then you took them back. You can't just give them
Because there's
to
no
him.
use for him to have them.
But he has nothing, so why not let him hold them?
No, he's not holding the rocks.
But I
He
mean,
can
if he's
get them
holding,
for all I care.
if he's holding 0 items in his hand, why not let him have the rock so he can actually have a chance to throw them?
Because he'll use them on the first Pokemon he sees, and I kind of need him to use it on like boss enemies that are far away.
Let's see.
And this is bad.
How?
Time stop here.
I mean, besides the obvious. Why is that bad?
There's a time gear in place.
Again, I guess I'll see. Because you're not actually answering the why these things are bad part.
Time stop here. Planet paralysis has already started.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is some shit. What if they got the time gears in the right places, but those for the wrong time gear?
Then they're not in the right place, making what you said redundant.
Like you look at the time gear, bottom of the ocean. The fuck? Let's say it's over here.
I'm not. Again, what you said sounds redundant.
Oh. What is that thing hooked up to?
What was what hooked up to? The
The time gear.
Probably just floating.
All
It's a
right.
magical gear. You're questioning a game that gives you a dimensional shout that allows you to travel forward and backward in time, despite dimensions.
Hey, dimensional screen.
A dimensional screen, either way, that allows you to see in the past and go back in the past, or see in the future and go into the future. And yet you somehow are still incapable of being able to predict the outcome of all of what's about to happen.
That's because I don't know how to use the ability quite well here.
Even still, though, you're willing to accept this logic. You're willing to accept that a Celebi, a god, could not predict that people would get mad for stealing items.
God is.
God got his same difference. Either way, high entity, high intellect, high knowledge of the universe. You willing to accept that she somehow did not know that stealing the timepieces was a bad idea?
It was a bad idea, but here's the thing: time was already stopped, but the time gear's already been placed in.
Her lack of awareness is what's bothering me. You're willing to
Here's the thing,
accept those things, but not a gear floating in space. Come on, man.
Here's the thing: she did not create the time gear.
So
Time gears were created by Dialga,
again,
so only he knows how they work.
yeah, know how they work.
And
Not being aware that people will say you're stealing them for taking them. How are
he
you
knows
unaware
where
of
they're
that?
he knows where they're being stolen.
But again, how is she unaware that people will say that? That's the part that I have a problem with.
Because she doesn't govern over the time gears.
Even still, though, there's this point of issue. If I tell you to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get me a donut, but don't pay for it, I'm expecting you to have some repercussions. I'm not gonna expect them to just let you
I
walk
won't
off
pay for
scot-free.
it. I have someone else pay for it.
No. But if I don't expect you to go in there with any form of currency, I'm expecting, in my case, I'm expecting something to happen. Because I know what you're doing is stealing.
Yeah, but you're expecting a donut. And I'm getting you your donut one way or the other.
So you're going to steal it.
I'm not stealing it. I'm not paying for it. Someone else is.
No. No currency whatsoever.
Alright? There are many ways to get a donut from Dunkin' Donuts.
Without 0 currency, it's stealing. It's stealing.
It's not stealing. There are many ways to get a donut from Dunkin' Donuts.
Then name one.
Asking someone to taste test a donut, so you,
Asking
or you know,
someone
work
to
for
what?
Dunkin' Donuts for a bit, taste test a donut, and see if they want to give up a donut.
They won't.
So you
They
can
won't
say
do
there.
that. Dunkin' Donuts don't do that. They would lose too much
But
money.
Hey,
Or at least the
I'm only
Dunkin'
giving-
Donuts
I'm
near
t- I'm
us.
telling you the reasons.
The Dunkin' Donuts near us wouldn't pull that stunt. I can't say for every location, but the ones near us most
Yeah,
definitely wouldn't do it. Come on now.
Because the one that was in Whiting, we're doing like a one free donut day. Like, all right.
Yeah, a free donut
Sick.
day. If I ask you to just
You
go
were
on a
expecting
regular
a donut.
day, on a regular day though, they don't do
Yeah, but how do you know
donut
that?
days every single day
That is true. But how do you know
So-
the day you didn't send me be on the one of those days?
because I'd intentionally pick a day in which that didn't happen just to go with this theory.
Yes, but I also can get a donut many other ways. I can actually work for Dunkin' Donuts for a good while period. You didn't say when you wanted the donut back. You just wanted a donut.
When people make those requests, that's generally speaking of in the now situation, not 30 years
But
from
when
now.
they make a request for me, I don't have a time period. I got all the time in the world then.
Yeah, but if your boss says file this report, you know you don't wait 2 weeks from now to file the report. You know you do it as soon as possible.
Now that's where it's funny.
And that's where usually things go bad. for
No,
people.
no. At work, we're like, all right, I need you to file this report. All right, now? Yes, now. Okay. Oh, you smartass. Give me a good
Yeah.
pat on the back, though.
Yeah, but you
I
know,
like is.
I'd say you know as well as I do, that's generally a right now statement. No
Yes, I
one
do.
has to speak that. And only cheeky little cunts like you would do that stunt.
Why gotta be a cut, man?
Because it's cheeky. And I've been watching too many YouTubers who've been using those words. Either way, you, sir, know that's an in the present request.
Yeah. Also, we're going back to the guild.
Mm-hmm. But either way, ultimate point. Can you explain to me that? That was the Celebi thing, going way back to the original point. Celebi, her lack of knowledge as a god makes 0 sense.
I actually think gods are very knowledgeable.
Within the context
Pokemon
of
gods are
Pokemon
very
universe,
knowledgeable.
Yes. Why is she seemingly unintelligent at times?
She's a teenager.
She's a god who's been living longer than most everyone here.
How do you know that?
Because she's a god. And she seems to point out various things that occurred before your existence. So
From history books?
Good point. But again, her knowledge and her living these things, there's being statues erected for her and other things like that, kind of leave forth the idea that she might have lived a bit longer.
Or, you know, that could be a Pokemon that looks like her.
They're very good about calling out that stuff, remember? We can't tell the difference, but they seem to.
Yeah, but when you saw the statue, how do you know it's her?
Fairly solid guess. Either way, though, Celebi being God, or being a god, I'm in this universe, lack of knowledge. Explain that. That's the part of issue.
Like, again, she could be a very recent god that was being created and doesn't like this future, but wants to help Grovyle because she knows what the old
Why would
days
she be
look
created as a god in the period of destruction and chaos? What
Because
benefit
that-
would there be for anyone to generate her as a god? In fact, that would be bad for Dialga, who would want to go out of his way to stop this to begin with.
like. Because once you, I think when you slay a god, a new one is created in the Pokemon universe.
Mm-hmm. But Celebi, within the Pokemon context, has been consistently labeled as a god.
Yeah, but who could say that this Celebi was not a reincarnation of the other Celebi?
Reincarnation implies prior knowledge. Prior knowledge would mean that she knows about the past.
We're using the wrong term of reincarnation.
There's only one. It's a
But she-
recycling of life. You would have some form of prior knowledge.
Yeah, but the recycle of life doesn't mean you have the prior knowledge. It means you
Yeah, you would
can
actually.
get it, but you don't have it.
You would have it, though. Some form of it. And either way, let's go with the original logic of history books. How does she not know the history? She's in the future.
Because remember, a lot of Pokemon go into chaos and discord here.
That doesn't explain her lack of... Her knowledge of the past and her abilities are there. It's very selective right now with what you're saying. On the one hand, she
Right.
knows these things about the past, which is fine. It is possible for you to know one thing about the past and not the other. But it seems unreasonable to me that she knows these oddly specific details, but then is unaware that sending someone to the past to steal is a bad idea.
No, sending a person to the past to steal is always a bad idea.
Yeah, why is she unaware of that?
No, she was completely aware that going to the past and stealing was a bad idea, but sending those two was her only hope to get a better future.
It seems like
And
a
she
very...
can't go herself.
I can understand the logic, she being trapped, that blah blah. Of course, she can't go. Again, though, how did she not see these repercussions coming, is what I'm wondering.
Because it's a new timeline, and a new Celebi will probably only see this.
They never said that there was multiple timelines.
Well,
Multiverse theory multiverse theory would not work here.
Actually, it is here.
But multiverse theory in the way you're describing it would not work here. Because that means we're talking to two separate Celebes, which means the Celebi that initially did this stuff actually still lives within this chaotic universe. Will permanently live within this chaotic universe. She would
Unless
probably
the Celebi
know
that's in this timeline is still dead or alive, because we don't know how far in the future Grobon they are from.
Good point, but either way, multiverse theory wouldn't work within this particular situation. Because again, they correct the past, that means her future remains the same.
Yes, it does.
Her future remains the same. She would send more people. At some point, there would be an intersection.
Yes, but
and then afterward, you being turned from human to God, or human to Pokemon rather, wouldn't be sensible anymore. Again, though, but we have knowledge of how multiverse theory works. I'm fairly sure the Time God would have some awareness of how multiverse theory works.
Yes, he does have awareness how well the person who's inside the way that he's acting right now, he doesn't know, but he knows as he knows.
Yes, but that doesn't explain how the God doesn't know. We as mortals know of multiverse theory. The goddess, whose job is to know how time travel works and this dimensional stuff that you're establishing, therefore some form of multiverse theory, she should know this stuff, which would mean she would know not to send someone to the past because it wouldn't actually affect her future. It would only affect someone else's.
But here's something.
Something that she wouldn't even be aware if they existed.
Well, she will have to learn about this. The only way that she can learn from it is from the big man himself, who controls time, who probably teaches all the Celebes.
Yes, but how would she learn it if sending someone into the past is going to affect another dimension's future? Or another universe's future?
She has to learn.
She should know. She should know. She's the god of time. You can't be expert of something and not know something about it.
Well, she's not an expert. She just said that she can do it.
She's the literal god of it. How does she not know?
The literal god is Dialga.
He's the highest god, but there's multiple gods.
Yeah, and she doesn't know.
How does she not know?
She doesn't know because she hasn't been taught it.
No. No, I'm not talking about the ability to go back in time or manipulate time itself. I'm talking about understanding of time. You're talking about actual ability. I'm talking about knowledge, just pure knowledge.
She doesn't have the complete knowledge.
How does she not have basic knowledge, though? Multiverse theory is a fairly basic thing.
Have you seen the future? I don't think anyone can learn anything.
Dude, yeah, we both saw the future. We watched that part. But I mean, in general, basic multiverse theory, just a little basic bit of it, that going back in time, just when you alter the past, creates another timeline, separate from the one that you would currently be in. Basically something like that. How does she not know that? If we know that.
Because she hasn't been taught.
How, though? It's a very basic thing for a god of time. For most people, okay, I could probably see that. Like, I could accept that if we were talking about Wigglytuff over there, or Bidoof. But Celebi, Time Lord, Time God, Time Title, Prefect of High Word. The lack of experience and lack of knowledge doesn't make sense.
Like I said, there are some Pokemon born with the ability and just don't know how to use it properly.
But see, you're talking about ability again. See, you keep bringing up ability. I'm talking about knowledge.
Yes, but she does. Yeah, and she also doesn't know how to use it or control it.
See, again, you're talking about knowing how to use it. That's still ability.
I know what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about ability. Why do you keep bringing up ability when I'm saying knowledge?
Because I'm trying to say she doesn't know how to use it, understand it, or how anything works with it.
But
all
the
she
fact
knows
that
she
you
can
have
do
to
a short burst, and that's about it.
The fact is, you still keep bringing up using it. That's ability. That's
I can spell
capability.
too.
I'm not talking about capability at all. I'm talking about knowledge. Actually, that's
Yeah.
a form of capability, but I'm not talking about capability in terms of
That's why I was
using
saying it.
I'm not talking about capability in terms of using it, dude.
Mhm.
You can have knowledge of something and be incapable of doing it.
Yeah, like
I know how
don't
bows
know.
work. I know how they function. I'm an expert for the most part on an historical knowledge of bows. Can I use one? Not very well.
You can use it
My,
effectively as a
capa-
good stick.
my capability? Very low. My knowledge? Very high. Why? Because I've studied it. But I've not actually put any of my study into practice.
Mhm.
I know it though. So if I tell you something, I know what will happen if you do it. So, how is she unaware? Is the part I want to know.
She wasn't taught.
But you don't have to. Taught what though? How are you
How to
not taught
use
that sending
time.
someone in. Huh?
How time works, actually.
You can't become the god of something without knowledge of it.
Well, apparently she is. All she knows that there are places that she can send people back as long as they are there.
What?
That's about it. Like the time gate. She can't send us back by herself like where we're at. We had to go to a certain location that she can send us back at.
Mm-hmm.
That's all she can do.
Then why is she a god of time? Are you sure that that would be an accurate term for her?
All I know is all Celebes are a god of times.
Well, they all can't be. If that is the capabilities of them.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, hold on. Let's go with the same principle that you used earlier. How do we know that this Celebi is the god of time? Not all. Just because you're a Celebi doesn't mean you're a god of time.
No, I think we're using the word god wrong. And she can control time.
Yeah, see, I'm using god as in the most literal sense of the term. As you should. Because if you go with the more ambiguous route, it can become arguable. If anything, Wigglytuff is the god of this guild.
Which she is. He is.
I have to say, that's a bit too ambiguous, though, in the meaning of god. That just means high leader. So that's a bit way too ambiguous. But in the more literal sense, he is not the god of this guild. Because none of them worship him.
Chatot.
Chadox worships him?
Yeah. Like it ain't nothing.
No. There's a difference between following someone in an obsessed manner and actual worship of them. There's an actual difference between those two.
Yeah, this is worship.
Are you certain?
I am certain. He literally started crying when he couldn't go with them.
That's not worship. That's obsession.